The departmental administration, through the Secretariat of Mobility, urges citizens to abide the measures adopted during this Christmas Eve.
With a message of self-care, the Secretariat of Mobility calls on the islanders to avoid excesses and to drive with caution during the celebration of Christmas Eve.
Terminamos la Semana de la Movilidad con un eslogan que...
We end the Mobility Week with a slogan that I want to share. Your behavior on the road save your life. Remember that someone you care about is waiting for you at home. The invitation is to have a road behavior that is not reproachable at all. Let's drive in a controlled way. Speed excess of alcoholic intake.
In line with what was mentioned, the officials stressed the importance of abiding by the restrictive measures adopted by the departmental administration during this year-end season.
From tomorrow, January 25th at 1 a.m. until 5 a.m. until January 11th, there will be this restriction as a shock measure to prevent accidents at this time, since study shows that Christmas is the time when most accidents occur.
The Secretary of Mobility concluded that the government is committed to ensuring that the celebrations are developed with zero road accidents.
And by decree, the departmental government fixed the new prices of land-based public transportation in the department that will be in effect from 2022.
As of January 4th, there will be an increase in the cost of mass and collective public transportation in the islands. According to what was stipulated by the Secretariat of Mobility, the increase is made in accordance with the policy and criteria set by the national government through the Ministry of Transportation and the meetings held by the Taxi Drivers Union of the Archipelago.
A través del decreto 735 y 736, el cual hace referencia al aumento de las tarifas.
Through Decree 735 and 736, which refers to the increase in public transport costs, both individual and collective taxi buses, the bus price was an increase of 3,600 pesos. It should be clarified that on Sundays it will have the same cost. It will not have a differential cost as it was done in the past. And the airport fee. Through several meetings held with the Airport Taxi Drivers Association, we were able to establish values according to the route from the airport to the hotel destination and vice versa. We also have to take into account that the cost of the return to the airport should be the same.
The minimum taxi service rates were set at 15,000 pesos for the downtown area and the maximum at 80,000. The increase in the prices of public transportation generated disagreement among citizens who indicated that the new fees are excessive and that is not adequate to the financial problems that the pandemic has left.
La tarifa está demasiado alta. San Andrés.
The cost is too high. San Andres has the most expensive family basket in Colombia, and the minimum here is not enough for anything. The minimum wage should be a special minimum for San Andres.
A mí me parece un abuso. Primero porque el servicio público.
I think it is an abuse. First of all, because the public service, specifically the buses, is very slow. It is not affordable and it seems to be an exaggerated price, since 3,000 pesos is a very high price. And we have to take into account that the income of the majority of the population here is not sufficient to pay for buses that cost almost 4,000 pesos a day.
According to the Secretariat of Mobility, the new increase in public transport fees is due to the fact that since 2016 there has been no update of the values.
In an interview with this news agency, the Departmental Secretary of Education announced the opening of a new fund for access to higher education.
It is a fun call, a new beginning for access to higher education. We will open calls for application on December 30.
I want to announce to all our students and our young people who have just graduated that there is a new fund called A New Beginning for Access to Higher Education. This fund will be open from December 30th until January 21st of 2022. That is why I invite you to register and participate. I also want to tell the students who were the best ICFES and who were the best high school graduates that as of December 30th, they can also register. They are direct beneficiaries in this call. They have to do the procedure like any student, but they are direct beneficiaries due to their academic performance and academic achievements.
On what is the new fund covers, the Secretary states.
This fund covers tuition, but for students who are in public institutions, they are the only ones who will be able to access the support subsidy. They will be able to choose between this subsidy or tuition, not both options, but they have that advantage since we know that some public institutions are inexpensive, so they will be able to apply for this subsidy.
It is worth reminding the community that they will have from December 30 until January 21st of the next year to apply for this new fund.
And this year, the residents of the Carrera 3 parallel to the runaway are expecting to receive a very special gift to improve access to their neighborhoods.
On Christmas Eve, the culture of exchanging gifts persists. However, for some inhabitants of the sector adjacent to the so-called Carrera 13, parallel to the airport runway, the greatest desire is the repair of the road.
The wish for this Christmas is that the government at least put their hand on their heart and pave that road for us. It's been unpaved for a long time. See, we are on December 24th, and that is the mud that is still there. So those are the wishes.
They should make it beautiful. They should pave it. For we are cut off from access as a result of the road conditions. The motor taxis don't want to bring us here, and there is no bus running through here.
The community is mainly asking Veolia, which is the one that has opened the hose, to please try to improve that part, to improve it and keep it clean, at least during these days.
The neighborhoods of the sector hope that this Christmas their clamor will be heard and the intervention of the road will be crystallized to put an end to the years of waiting and the mobility and transportation problem caused by the poor condition of the road.
And on the streets of the island, Raizal people and residents alike send messages of peace, happiness, and prosperity during the holidays.
From the downtown sector of the island, residents and locals send good wishes during the celebration of Christmas, wishes of union and harmony in family, friends, and acquaintances. Calls of tolerance, respect, and love are prevalent among the message.
One of the wishes, I would like for the islanders, we see we more unite, live in peace, not hear all these bad news, every day, and live in peace,
I just begging the community for San Andres, just watch out and take care of yourself, and I wish everybody a Happy New Year and a Merry Christmas, and take care, man.
Just enjoy yourself home with your family and take care of yourself and trust God.
And in other news, the DEAM issued a communique announcing what the weather conditions will be like for this Christmas weekend in our department.
According to the communique for the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Queclina, partly cloudy skies are expected with predominant dry weather and the possibility of occasional showers in the evening hours. Variable cloudiness is expected within the predominantly dry weather during the daytime hours, and possible occasional showers on Saturday and Sunday nights. The wind will reach speeds close to 40 kilometers per hour and the swell height between 2 and 3 meters, so it is suggested to consult with the port captaincy before setting sail. Likewise, the entity provides some recommendations such as not to throw garbage in the streets, to avoid blogging in the drainage sewage system, and also to be attentive to the developmental early news from the competent authorities to verify the state of the weather during these days.
And now we continue with Millicent O'Neill and all the news from Old Providence and Santa Catalina.
Good evening to all our viewers. This is the most relevant information from Old Providence and Catalina. In a joint effort between the Fin Social Foundation, the Navy, and the support of the social manager of the municipality, gifts were delivered to the children of Old Providence.
1,000 gifts were delivered to the children of the municipality in one day by the Fin Social Foundation, who joined efforts with the Navy and the social manager of the municipality to bring a smile to the children of Old Providence and Santa Catalina.
The truth is that this activity was a union between the Fin Social Foundation, the National Navy, and the specific command of San Andres and Old Providence. What we want is to bring joy and happiness to the children of Old Providence. We joined with them, and fortunately, we were able to bring 1,000 gifts for 1,000 children on the island. I think it is a very nice achievement, and many of them are going to have a very happy Christmas.
The foundation and the Navy toured the different neighborhoods of the island with music and handing out dolls and games to the children of the island.
We are here today in San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina, offering to many children the possibility of having a happy Christmas, a prosperous Christmas full of toys and smiles. For us, it is a joy to be with all our children, and we want everyone to be very happy and that no one is left without gifts.
The gifts provided by the Fin Social Foundation were brought from Barranquilla to the island region abroad, an aircraft of the Naval Aviation.
On the other hand, the Sports and Culture Secretariat held motivational and self-discipline workshops for the sports training schools and sports clubs of the municipality.
5 days of activities focused on leadership and sport training were carried out for the schools and sport training clubs in the municipality.
Physical activity and capacitaciones about physical training. This is for the community in general, trainer, adult, old people, and was totally benefit for the people. Dividing into two aspects, the intellectual part in a physical training and physical activity for the trainer and the children. And then we work the physical part in different points of the island with aerobic, stretching, and all, spinning for the community.
The activities had two components, mental training and physical training. The community also participated in these activities that were carried out in different locations.
A healthy mind, a healthy body, in midst of all the problems that we pass through. We believe that they can be plenty better with time. The people can come out more and do more activity, because right now, you know, the people are busy about all the situation and living. But I can say it was a good moment to pass with the people and with love.
Unas jornadas en diferentes puntos.
A day of physical activity based on dancing therapy. The truth is that it was a nice activity, especially with the inclusion of the entire population. We were in 4 different points and the result was a success because people were very happy. We gave out kits for personal training, and well, there is nothing nicer than being able to contribute to the health of the population here in Old Providence.
The activities benefited trainers, monitors, children and young people of the municipality.
And a commercial fair was held to close the livelihood project, benefiting 60 commercial productive units.
With some of the 60 commercial productive units, the Livelihood Project, a private enterprise initiative led by the Red Cross in the municipality, was closed, a project that sought to promote the economic reactivation.
It's a fair where some of our project beneficiaries are marketing and promoting some of their products with some of the input that they have received from Coca-Cola and the Red Cross, represented in these inputs or elements that they have for sale today.
The benefits for the different productive units have been various, and in some cases, not only have they recovered but also improved the productive units compared to what they were before IOTA.
The benefits have been several. The accompaniment from the characterization to the initial identification, the formulation of a business plans to see the viability of what these people were developing before the hurricane and what capital they lost in order to be able to recover it. Also, training in basic accounting and marketing of their products.
Finally, what follows for this project is as follows.
To follow up on the reconstruction of 2 temples, in this case a Catholic church in the southwest and a Baptist church in Daisy Hill. Likewise, the municipal farm is being refurbished in 3 areas and is expected to be finished between January and February.
This is all information we have for tonight for this section of Old Providence and Catalina. You guys can continue in San Andres with more Teleislas news and have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Millie, and Merry Christmas also. Now let's go with the cultural events of the archipelago. With great acceptance, the music of the archipelago of San Andres and Old Providence has been received in Expo Dubai through the presentation of one of the local bands of the department.
The music of the archipelago of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina continues to make its way in the world. This time, the Raizal group, Joe Taylor, and the Fire Band, who is entertaining business meetings in the Colombia Pavilion at Expo Dubai, were invited to play music representative of the islands and the Colombian Caribbean. During their presentation, the musicians performed several songs, including Beautiful San Andres, which generated hysteria and ovation among the spectators located in the pavilion. This is the first group of the archipelago that is performing for the first time at Expo Dubai, the most important fair in the world, with the presence of more than 190 countries and held in the region of the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia, which will be for a few days, home to numerous entrepreneurs. Therefore, the island group, in dialogue with the Teleislas News, indicated that they hope with this exhibition to show that the talent that exists within the islands, as well as part of the culture through musical instruments and songs that detail the beauty of the sea of the seven colors.
The design and memory program of the Ministry of Culture in the archipelago, whose purpose was to train several women in clothing to help reactivate the cultural sector, was successfully completed.
The departmental government, through the Secretariat of Culture, informed that the design and memory project of the Ministry of Culture and the SENA oriented to the qualification of knowledge, including clothing design, which resulted in a 4-month production process that allowed the provision of dance costume kits to 4 artistic groups of the island, was completed. The groups that received the costumes were the Caribbean Generation Culture Heritage and Faway Caribbean Team. Recall that the initiative of the Design and Memory Program was to promote entrepreneurship, the formalization of the design and clothing sector in San Andres and Old Providence, where 20 women were trained in the development of traditional dance costumes. This initiative was supported by the El Nogal Foundation, the government of the archipelago, the SENA Pat Primo, as well as partnership with the R100 Theater and the First Lady of the Republic of Colombia, Juliana Marquez Tono, who, from their different approaches, made it possible to implement this project, which delivered 2 workshops, one in San Andres and another in Old Providence, and the provision of 18 sewing machines and 9 for each group and the workshop.
Now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for tomorrow, December 25th, in the coastal area of archipelago, the sky will be with scattered storms. Temperature will be of 29 degrees Celsius with winds from the northeast direction, with intensities of 19 km per hour. Humidity forecast will be at 79%, and probability of precipitation will be at 50%. And this is all for tonight. We don't want to leave without wishing you all a Merry Christmas full of happiness, hope, and prosperous New Year. This was all. We see you Sunday at 8 p.m. in Teleislas News Weekend.